One. Welcome to Pythia's Prophecy Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs, and it's for the full moon in Aries. So let's get started. I believe the full moon is happening on the 6th. Today is the 6th. It'll probably come out on the 8th, this video, but the energy of the full moon lasts for quite a while. So let's see. What's the message for Aries? I'll just start with Aries. What's the message here for Aries? Full moon in Aries. Message for Aries. Aries, what's the message here for Aries? We've got Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. And we've got the Black Cat, your luck will soon change. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's get some cards from here. Message for Aries. What's the message here for Aries? Eight of Swords. King of Swords. And the 5 of Cups with the 8 of Coins. So Aries, there's something you're focused on with this 8 of Coins. With 8 of Swords, you could feel trapped in something that maybe you've been working on, okay, for some of you. With this King of Swords, you may need to make some hard decisions here, hard choices. And you could be worried if you're going to regret this, okay? There could be some sort of, you could be focused on something that you regret as well. That may be forcing you to make hard choices, okay? But it says your abilities will be enhanced. So I think your luck is going to change. The situation that has left you feeling, sort of trapped, feeling like you don't know which way to go, that's going to change. Okay, let's see. Aries, what's the message here for Aries? What is the message for Aries? Why is the 8 of Swords there for Aries? Why is the 8 of Swords there for Aries? 8 of Love and the Lord of Swords. Yeah, you need to make tough decisions, right? To leave behind things that aren't working for you, situations that aren't working, and I think you kind of feel like you're trapped, okay? You're not able to make this, it's like you're not able to make the decision, okay? And you can see in this card, this person is blindfolded. There's a little butterfly there. So I think change is on the way, Aries. This situation is changing. Especially with that Black Cat there, your luck will soon change. Things are going to turn around for the better here. So let's see. Let's look at this King of Swords. There's the King of Swords there for Aries. Wheel of Life and the Ace of Shields. Yeah, it's time to pursue something new with the Wheel of Life. It feels like it's time now, okay? It's time for you to make this call. It's time for you to do this. Okay, let's look at the 5 of Cups. The Emperor. And, oh my gosh, that's 4. Okay. The Love Feast, the 9 of Shields, and Lady Wisdom. Okay, so you feel like this is you, Aries. You need to take charge. This is the Emperor, right? You need to make this choice, With the 9 of Shields, you feel like you're being pushed to make this choice. It's like something you don't want to do, but you feel like you have to do it. With Lady Wisdom, it's possible for some of you, your intuition is talking to you, okay? Telling you to do this, like it's time, you need to do this. You need to make the tough call here, okay? And some of you regret that you have been placed in a position where you have to do that. But things are going to change for the better. That's what I feel. Let's see. Aries, what's the message here for Aries? What's the message for Aries? Let's look at this Lord of Swords. There's a Lord of Swords there for Aries. There's a Lord of Swords there for Aries. The Empress. Yeah, see, there's something better. A new life, something, something more on the horizon, okay? And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's time. The Empress energy is one of birthing a new life, and it feels like now's the time, okay? Now's the time. This new thing has to be birthed now, okay? Let's look at this Wheel of Life. Yeah, Ace of Cups. For some of you, it could be about, literally bringing a new life, okay, into the world. I mean, it's possible. Let's look at the Ace of Shields. The Hanged Man. I think the stagnant situation that you've been in, Aries, the sort of sitting on the fence or, hanging from a tree, whatever, that sort of, you've been on the fence about this, and it feels like it's time now, okay? It's time to do this. Let's look at the Emperor. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this could involve family. For some of you, this is about having a child, okay? If it's not a child, it could be a new life, like maybe a commitment, something like that. Let's see. Why is the Love piece there for Aries? Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, it's about choosing someone, okay, to partner up with. Let's look at the Nine of Shields. Queen of Cups. And the Eight of Swords. I think this is about, if this has to do with the realm of choosing to become a parent or choosing that new life, then it's about releasing your fears, okay, about giving love. Choosing this because it's time now, okay? Let's look at Lady Wisdom. Seven of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I think your intuition is speaking to you, telling you not to imagine the worst here, okay? To be done with all of that. If this is about, starting a new life, that's what I'm, like, you're imagining the worst, thinking, yeah, you're just imagining the worst here, and it's like time to let that go. Okay. Okay. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a good change. We have that here as well. Your luck will soon change. It's going to change for the better. Your abilities will be enhanced. So don't stand in the way of this new life. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Okay. So Aries, that's you. And of course, for some of you, it could play out as a job, right? A career path that's ending, something new could be opening up. You could be imagining the worst, right? But whatever that change is, it's very positive, okay? Okay, so let's move on to Taurus. What is the message here for Taurus? Full moon in Aries, message for Taurus. Full moon in Aries, what's the message here for Taurus? Medusa. Ooh, the hourglass. Time is of the essence. Okay, so time is running out for something, okay? And there's jealousy as well, possibly here. Gosh. Maybe someone's jealous because time is running out. Let's see. What's the message here for Taurus? Full moon in Aries. What's the message for Taurus? What's the message here for Taurus? Message for Taurus, full moon in Aries, message for Taurus. Ten of Cups, Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Coins with Judgment. Okay. So, someone's anxious about family, some kind of realization has been, some sort of decision or reckoning has happened here, okay? With the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Swords, someone's very stressed about this. With the Ace of Coins, it's about, I feel they're stressed about turning their back on family and going for this Ace of Coins, some new opportunity, okay? Okay. Let's see. There's jealousy as well. Maybe it's around the new opportunity. I'm not sure. Let's see. Why is the Ten of Cups there for Taurus? Three of Shields and the Eight of Wisdom. Now in this Three of Shields, it seems like going and asking for forgiveness or something, okay? Or there's an expectation here. With regards to family. Now let's look at this Nine of Swords. Three of Swords. Oh, and Four of Swords and the Empress. Okay. With the Ace of Wisdom. Yeah, I think the stress is associated with going for this new opportunity. Okay. With the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords, someone's thinking about this. That's a Seven of Swords here. About this new life, this new opportunity. Yeah, let's look at the Ace of Coins. For Taurus, why is Ace of Coins here for Taurus? The Ondura and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I think Taurus, this could be you, this could be someone else. But the fact is, the truth is that someone feels differently about this Ace of Coins opportunity. And that's being conveyed, okay? And the fact that someone feels differently has been conveyed. And now someone else is anxious about this, okay? I think they expected that this person would work towards a family life, like they would be in a committed partnership, something like that. And now they feel deceived, okay? Let's see. And maybe that's why the jealousy comes in, okay? So let's see, why is this Three of Shields there for Taurus? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. See, there's like an expectation of family. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Let's look at the Eight of Wisdom. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, that this was going to lead to marriage, okay? Let's look at the Three of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. See, this new opportunity comes with heartbreak. Let's look at that Four of Swords. King of Wands. And let's look at the Esclamant de Foix, Ace of Swords. I think, yeah, with the Lovers, it's possible that someone has to make a choice. They have to, and I'm getting an energy that Taurus, this could be someone who's in, either this is someone who just wants a family and feels like their partner is stringing them along, like they're not, they've been, there's heartache attached to that, okay, they're not actually going for this. Like they've been deceived, they're not going to become this person's spouse or become a parent or whatever. There's something about a new life, a new commitment, that this energy here feels like they've been deceived. Okay, now let's look at the Ondura. Yeah, the High Priestess and the Nine of Swords. And that's the thing, someone feels differently about this opportunity, okay? But they're not speaking up about it. They're not speaking up. Let's look at the Knight of Swords. Knight of Cups. The Chariot, the Tower, the King of Cups. With the World. Yeah, I think, this new opportunity is the start of something brand new. For some of you, it's possible that this is a third party and this new opportunity represents going towards a third party. Okay, now someone feels differently about it. They don't want to do this. And that's been conveyed, right? That's been conveyed. It's like come out as a bolt out of the blue, whatever this person said. And I almost feel like with the King of Cups in this deck, it's almost like he's pouring out his emotions. Like he's becoming slightly more detached. Okay, I think there's a feeling that this person doesn't want to do this. Okay, let me have a look at that High Priestess again. Yeah, the Devil. For some of you, this is a third party. Okay, and somebody doesn't want to commit to the third party person. That's what I'm getting. If it's not that, then it's just fear of starting this new life, right? New chapter, whatever it is. Someone's not ready to go down that path, okay? And that could be causing jealousy from the other person, okay? Who feels like time is running out. You know, something like that. There's a feeling that time is running out. This is their time to start this new life, to be a spouse, to be a parent, whatever. And someone's holding back from it. You know, the other partner's holding back. And so there's yeah, a feeling of this Ace of Pentacles is now starting to feel like a trap. Okay, that's what I feel. For somebody, it's feeling like a trap. They don't want to go down this route. Okay, and I think the other person is jealous. Okay, so that's what we got for Taurus. Let us move on to Gemini. Trying not to make these too long. Okay, what is the message here for Gemini? Full moon in Aries, message for Gem. So what's the message here for Gemini? Message for Gemini. The Knight, triumph over adversity. And the Talisman, you are destined to succeed. Wow, that's pretty good energy. Okay, let's see. What is the message for Gemini? Feels like having faith, Gemini. You see how it almost looks like the Knight of Swords, doesn't it? I mean, it almost looks like air energy as well, because he's got his sword raised. It's almost like whatever you're going into a situation, you just have to go, you know, all guns blazing, because it feels like it is going to work out. Okay. Gemini, what's the message here for Gemini? What is the message here for Gemini? Full moon in Aries, message for Gem. 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the Chariot with the 5 of Cups. Okay. Gemini, it feels like you feel burdened here, okay, by regret, burdened by other people's expectations of you, and you just want to move on from all of this, okay, and obviously with the Chariot, it's very directed energy, so there's something that you wish to move towards. You want to leave something else behind, and now it feels like you're determined to go down this new path, you know. There's something you regret, or some situation from the past that you can't get over. You're trying to get over it by moving towards something, okay? I don't know if you're going back to that. Let's see. Okay. But it feels like other people's expectations of how you should behave and what you should go for are also weighing quite heavily on you. Okay, let's look at that 10 of Wands. Yeah, here you are, the Love Feast and the Emperor, you know. It's time to make a choice here, Gemini. You need to go into battle for whatever it is you want, right? You got to make this choice. Let's look at the 6 of Wands. There's the 6 of Wands there. Lady of Shields and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, when it comes to caring what other people think, I think you've sabotaged yourself in the past, okay, with that 5 of Swords energy. The Lady of Shields represents something that you find desirable, okay, whether it's a job, a person, whatever. It's an opportunity that you desire, and you've been conflicted in the past because you cared what other people think about this, okay, and maybe you haven't gone for it, right, or something. You shot yourself in the foot with it by caring what other people think, and it feels like that's been a heavy burden for you, and it's time to let that go. Let's look at the Chariot, the World of Shadows, and the Ace of Shields. Yeah, I think you want to go back to this, okay, whatever you were conflicted about in the past. I think you want to revisit this. With the Moon and the Ace of Shields, though, you're hiding this. You're hiding this. And with the 3 of Love, which is the 3 of Cups energy, it could be that your friends don't approve of this, you know, because your friends, yeah, it's like your friend circle may not approve of this person or whatever you want to do here, right? It could be a goal. But it's time to recognize that you need to, there are times when you need to like not care what other people think. And I think this is one of them, okay? Because it says you will triumph and you are destined to succeed. So the Chariot is destined for success, okay? So whatever path you're choosing to go down, that is the right path for you. Okay, let's see. Okay. Gemini. What's the message here for Gem? Let's look at the love feast. Where is it there for Gemini? 3 of Wands. Yeah, you're expected to make a choice here, okay? Let's look at the Emperor. There's the Emperor there for Gemini. The Judgment, yeah. It's time to use your own judgment, not rely on the judgment of others who may, all said and done, they don't have, people who care about us, they don't always know what's best for us, right? And I think it's time for you to make your own decisions, Gemini. I feel like this is a Gemini who has allowed themselves to be swayed a lot by other people's opinions, okay? Let's look at the Lady of Shields. Yeah, 7 of Wands. You felt like there were too many obstacles to going for this. And the biggest one seems to be that other people's opinions of this person, this job, this goal, okay, for some of you it could be a goal, like you want to pursue a path and other people don't support you, okay? Let's look at that 5 of Swords. Yeah, the King of Wands. You've been conflicted about going for this. It's telling you to, boss up and make your own decision here. Let's look at the Moon. Ace of Swords. You're hiding the truth from everyone around you. Let's look at the Ace of Shields. 6 of Swords. Yeah, you're planning to move towards this. But it's like you know that people around you don't approve and you're trying to avoid this conflict. Okay, you don't have to fight all these people for this. You don't want to have to convince them. So it's like you're sneaking off or you're doing this kind of on the down low. You're keeping this goal a secret. Okay, yeah, with the 7 of Swords, it's like you're doing it, under the radar, something like that. Okay. I'm gonna get one more on the Moon. Where's the Moon there? Yeah, 9 of Wands. You're hanging back from speaking your truth here. You're guarded. You don't want to fight with the people around you, but you do want to move towards this, okay? For some of you, it could be, if it's a relationship, it may be someone that your friends and family don't approve of, and it's like you're trying to go towards them without alerting these other people, okay? Feels like that. But whatever you're meant to do, I think with the Chariot energy, whatever you want to move towards, it is going to be a time of triumph for you. Okay, you're destined to succeed, so just go for it. Yeah, we've got honor and good luck beneath that, so it's all good things. So whatever you're planning to do, Gemini, just do it. Okay, so we'll go for you, and let's move on to Cancer. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea. Throat gets so dry doing these readings. Okay. Cancer, what is the full moon in Aries energy for Cancer? It's a message here for Cancer. Full moon in Aries. Full moon in Aries, what's the message? Earth, utilize logic, reason and common sense. Ooh, got the dagger, conflict and danger line wait. Oh gosh, okay. 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 Cancer, what's the message here for Cancer? What is the full moon in Aries message for Cancer? What's the message for Cancer? Message for Cancer. Queen of Cups, there you are. Four of Cups. And the Eight of Cups. From the Ten of Cups. Gosh. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Interesting. Now here you are, Queen of Cups. So this is happening in the realm of family, Cancer, which is your natural realm, right? Or with people that you consider family, right? But for many of you, I think it's in a like a family situation, okay? There's boredom here within this family, and someone wants to leave it all behind. Is it you, Cancer, who's bored? If that's the case, please heed this warning, right? Utilize logic, reason, and common sense, because some of you could be getting carried away with passion, with excitement. Okay, there's conflict and danger. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. What's the message for Cancer? Full moon in Aries. Message for Cancer. Okay, why is the Queen of Cups here for Cancer? Three of Shields. There's a Queen of Cups there for Cancer. Oh, what is this? Esclamant de foi. Okay. Okay. So there's an expectation here. I think this Queen of Cups has got an expectation, okay, with that Three of Shields. Expecting to see something more with the Esclamant de foi, you know, some sort of growth, okay. For some of you, it could be about a pregnancy, okay. Yeah, could be for some of you. Or if it's not, it's just maybe someone sees, you know, something new, a new life. Let's look at the Four of Cups. Squire of Swords. And Eight of Wisdom. Someone's going to say something harsh here, okay? That they're bored. I think it's this Lord of Wisdom, okay? Well, let me see. Let's look at this Eight of Cups. Ace of Shields. The Sun. The Knight of Wisdom. Somebody wants to walk away. They see a new passion, right? With the Ace of Shields and the Sun. It's dazzling. It's passionate. It all looks hunky-dory over there, right? And they're bored where they are. Yeah, they're bored where they are. And so I think they're tempted to walk away, but it's saying to utilize logic and common sense. Like nothing is perfect, right? This looks like the grass is greener kind of situation. Let's see. There's a Three of Shields there for Cancer. Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's an expectation of moving towards something. Why is Esclamant de foi there? Why is Esclamant de foi there? The Hermit. And one more. King of Cups. Okay, so I'm getting that. There's an expectation of something new, a new life, of getting with somebody else, okay? Let's look at that Squire of Shields. Yeah, Ten of Swords. So they could tempted to end their family life. Now this could be you, Cancer, if you're the feminine, or it could be the other person, okay? Let's look at the Eight of Wisdom. Judgment, yeah. They could be thinking of a divorce or just leaving their spouse or something like that. Let's look at the Ace of Shields. Yeah, Three of Swords. It does feel like someone is drawn to a third party. Let's look at the World of Light. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, they're thinking of collaborating with somebody else. You know. Let's look at the World of Light again. Queen of Swords. Yeah, for some of you, I mean, you might be this Queen of Swords, okay? You could It could be your partner who is thinking of leaving, who's in love with somebody else, okay, who sees a better life. Anyway, whoever it is, the bottom line is that person who's getting carried away needs to utilize logic and common sense, okay? And for some of you, if your spouse is the one who's thinking of doing this, then you don't know that they're that bored, right? And that they're thinking of leaving, that there's conflict waiting for you. You know, on the surface, everything looks hunky-dory. It looks okay. You might not be prepared for this ending, okay? Now, these are general, so it's not going to apply to everyone. So, you know, don't get too alarmed. Yeah. But it will come to light, okay? I think whatever is going on is going to come to light. And then this conflict might bubble up. Let's look at this. Utilize logic and reason and common sense. Why is that there? Queen of Cups. Okay, it's asking you to utilize logic and reason and common sense, Cancer. So if you're hoping to leave, then, you know, you need to utilize some common sense, not get carried away. And if it's your partner who's leaving, then you may be tempted to do something a bit rash here, okay? But it's asking you to be practical, to be sensible, okay? Yeah. Let me get a card on the dagger. Yeah, the Empress and the Ace of Cups. This is about a new life. For some of you, it could be this. I mean, it just might be for some that somebody's gotten someone pregnant, okay, and that there could be conflict about all of that. Yeah, it looks messy, but either way, whether you're at the receiving end of the betrayal or you're doing the betraying, okay, there's a need to not do anything rash and reckless here, okay, because it could lead to a lot of conflict. Okay, let's get a card now for Leo. What's the message here for Leo? Full moon in Aries, what's the message for Leo? Message for Leo. What's a message for Leo? The King. Wow, how appropriate. Authority and diplomacy. And it says fire. Reckless actions lead to conflict. Yeah, so I think it's asking you to harness this King energy, okay, of diplomacy. Not to do anything reckless, right? Okay, let's see. And if you're a Cancer, Leo, Cusper, then this could be a continuation. Okay, you might want to read the Cancer reading. Okay, so let's see. What is the message here for Leo? Full moon in Aries. What's the message for Leo? 9 of Swords, 7 of Coins, and Strength. Leo, here you are with the 8 of Cups. So you want to walk away. You want to leave a situation. It's causing you a lot of stress. You've been giving to something that isn't really growing, okay, with that 7 of Coins and with Strength. I think it's going to take courage to leave it behind and to walk away, you know, to recognize that this isn't going anywhere, okay. But it's also telling you to do that in a way that is not reckless, to be kind with authority and diplomacy, right, to say the kind words, to be compassionate, okay, and not reckless, okay. Okay, let's see. So I think how you leave things, right, that can indicate how combative a situation is going to become, right? Like if you exercise good faith or some kindness, then that could be reciprocated back to you. Okay, let's look at the 9 of Swords. Why is the 9 of Swords there for Leo? Lady of Wisdom, and the Last Judgment, and the 4 of Shields. Okay. with the Ace of Cups. So it looks like, Leo, you've got something you want to move towards, something you think is going to make you happier. But the problem is here, you do have some kind of commitment maybe, okay? Or you may have made a commitment that is stressing you out now. Maybe you want to leave this commitment behind, okay, for some of you. With the Seven of Coins, it feels like not really amounting to much. It's like you're there, you're tending to it because you're there, okay? It's not, it's not really growing. You can see in that card, it's not really growing. Okay, let's look at that Seven of Coins. The Ondura and the Knight of Love. Yeah, I think your feelings have changed here, Leo. And you're wondering, should you keep giving to this? Okay. I think at one time you did with that Knight of Love. You felt strongly about this person. But then somehow feelings have changed. And for some of you, you could have decided that this was the person for you. Moved in with them, all of that. And it's like you don't feel that way anymore. Let's look at Strength. Meloramentum and Apparamentum. So it's Justice and Temperance, okay, with Death. So I think for some of you, this is about choosing a partner, committing to them, right? It feels like your feelings have changed, and with Strength, it's about having the courage to acknowledge that, okay? Tear down your fears, basically. But in leaving, be compassionate, don't do anything reckless, okay? Don't do anything reckless about this ending. And if you've already committed and you have like legalities to go through, then with authority and diplomacy, I think it's about, like maybe you could try mediation, okay, instead of rushing towards a legal filing or something like that. There's something where a softer approach could be taken about this ending, okay? Like keeping in mind that person's feelings as well, the person you're leaving. Okay, let's look at the Last Judgment. Hierophant, Six of Wands. You realize that you committed to something, maybe under public pressure, okay, like the pressure of people around you. Some of you committed to something because you felt pressured by people around you, okay? But now you feel differently. You feel like this isn't what you want. There's the Ondura there. Five of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Yeah, you've learned something, okay? And it's causing you to see things differently. With the Five of Pentacles, it feels like you've learned something also about your own insecurities. The areas that you feel you are sort of lacking. Like maybe some of you thought that this partner was, maybe they just looked good, or they, on paper, it seemed like a good match, right? And you thought this would make you happy, and you've learned that it hasn't, okay? And so you feel differently about it. Let's look at Meloramentum. Yeah, some of you took action very quickly, okay? With the Knight of Wands and the Six of Cups, you were very hastily maybe entering into this. Maybe for some of you, this person, you've known them for a long time. You may even have grown up around each other, okay? Okay, let's look at Apparamentum, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, and now you're having a reassessment of whether this can work for you. Yeah, and you need to make a decision about this, okay? With the Seven of Wands, Leo, you need to be able to, this is a combative stance, right? This person is fighting off a lot of people. It's going to take courage, because I think a lot of people are going to be opposed to you not going down this path, okay? They're going to be opposed to you leaving. But you know what? And that may be the other thing that you're afraid of possibly here, okay? You may have realized that you will be shunned if you do this, right? It's like people expect you to commit to this person. They're seen as a good match, okay? They're not going to approve if you leave this person behind, something like that. But you're not happy there. You're not happy. You feel like it's a dead end with that Seven of Pentacles, just giving to something that's dead. You don't really want to be there. So you need to have the courage now to leave, okay? To end this. But to end it in a compassionate way, in a way that is compassionate to this person, okay? That's what I've got for you. Okay, so that's Leo. Let's move on to Um, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. What is the full moon in Aries message for Virgo? Full moon in Aries. What's the message for Virgo? Full moon in Aries. What's the message for Virgo? Oh gosh. Okay, we got key. Two of them. I'll take them. The key and the seer. Follow your intuition. Wow. Wow. With love, true love and fidelity. So Virgo, there's true love on the cards here. Okay. Something that you felt you couldn't, a relationship that you felt you couldn't have maybe before. With the seer, it says follow your intuition. I think following your intuition is the key to unblocking this path for you. Okay, it's like you have to follow your intuition to have this. Okay, okay, that's interesting. And that may not come easily to you. I mean, because you are ruled by Mercury, right? You're in your thoughts. You like to overanalyze. So giving up on the analysis and just following your intuition is something that maybe doesn't come easy to you. Okay, Virgo. What's the message here for Virgo? What is this? Eight of Coins. Ooh, Knight of Wands, and one more. Nine of Swords. Yeah, with the Eight of Swords, you see, the thing is, your thoughts are keeping you trapped here, okay? The thoughts are the enemy. You need to follow your intuition or your inner knowing, right? Your instinct is telling you to go for this love, then you need to just do it, okay? You're very focused on practicalities, on practical thoughts, and that's keeping you trapped. Okay, with the Nine of Wands, it's about taking action towards whatever you want to go towards. And with the Nine of Swords, there's anxiety and stress about this. Maybe you're concerned that you'll come across as a Knight of Wands, okay, someone who's unreliable. And that's, again, just a perception, a thought, right? And that's keeping you stuck there. Okay, let's see. Virgo, what's the message here for Virgo? Why is the Eight of Coins there for Virgo? Esclamant de foi. Nine of Swords, Lord of Swords. Yeah, I think that's the thing. See, you've held back with that Four of Wisdom. You've held back from an opportunity that could be great for you with the Empress here, the Esclamant de foi. There's anxiety about this, right? With the Lord of Swords, again, tough decisions may be needed, and that's causing stress. And you're very focused on that. But you can't reason your way to this, okay? Especially if it's a love relationship, you can't reason your way. You either feel it or you don't, right? Let's look at that Knight of Wands. Yeah, let's look at the Knight of Wands. Lucifer. And the Lady of Wisdom, yeah. Some of you may already be in a commitment, okay? Because Lucifer here is the Hierophant, and the Lady of Wisdom is the Queen of Pentacles, sort of. Okay, so it's like some of you could be in a commitment and you could be thinking that you're going to come across as a Knight of Wands, or you wish to rush into a commitment. Okay, let's look at this Nine of Swords. The Demiurge. See, this is the false belief that's keeping you trapped here. The thoughts are what's creating the prison. Let's look at the Nine of Swords again. Ten of Wisdom. Yeah, with the Two of Shields. You're very stressed because there's some kind of unrealistic or false belief around family here, right? Like maybe you think that family will never accept this person, okay? And it turns out that that's not the case. Like even if they're opposed to this person now, in time they might come around, right? Something like that. And that's stopping you from having true love. You know, you're just holding yourself back. Okay. Or you think like family can never do without you, you know, or something like this. Something's holding you back. Let's look at the Esclamant de Foix. Why is that there for Virgo? 7 of Wands. You're going to have to really battle, okay, to get this. You have to be determined. Let's look at the 9 of Swords. King of Swords. Yeah, you're anxious about making this decision. Let's look at the Lord of Swords. Queen of Wands. For some of you, this may be a third party that you wish to go towards. And if it's not, it's just your counterpart, because you're coming up as the King of Wands here, okay, to this Queen of Wands. For some of you, it's a third party. For others, you know, you want to go towards this person, and maybe just your family don't approve, or your friends, or whatever. Okay, let's look at Lucifer. Knight of Cups. And the Devil. If you already are in a commitment, then I feel like that is very codependent, okay? It's a very codependent connection. It's kept you trapped, you know. Let's look at the Lady of Wisdom, High Priestess. Yeah, I think you have someone in mind that you wish to partner up with, but you're afraid of doing this. Maybe this person is different, you know, with that Hierophant. Maybe they're a different culture, a different race. You think your family are not going to approve, something like this, okay? But whatever it is, it's a false belief. These fears are creating some kind of prison. Let's look at Demiurge. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles, a false belief. Page of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. See, you feel like you're going to be shunned, okay, or you're going to be left poor, or something like this. If you go towards this person, if you choose this person, there's something you don't see about this. Let's look at that 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, the Hierophant. And the 7 of Swords. See, you're deceiving us. There's something deceptive here about the knowledge that you have about your family. You could be deceiving yourself even, okay, because you care what other people think with that 6 of Wands. So what I'm getting is that your thoughts and your, you know, when you care what other people think, that's basically your ego talking to you, right? Which I think is the devil here. And it's like, the moment you stop listening to that and just follow your heart and your inner knowing, it's going to lead you to this true love. Okay, Virgo, that's what I've got for you. So you're at a crossroads. You can either choose to listen to your fears, or you can choose to listen to your heart. And I think your heart knows the way. Okay, your heart knows the way. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Let's move on to Libra. I'll just have a quick sip. Okay. Message for Libra. Full moon in Aries. What's the message here? Ooh, we've got the stars. A long journey brings rewards. And we have water. Emotions are at their peak. Okay. But it sounds like it's going to be positive, okay, because you're getting something you desired greatly. Okay. Message for Libra. Full moon in Aries. What's the message here for Libra? What's the message? Oh, what is this? 9 of Wands, 5 of Swords. And one more. Six of Wands with the 7 of Cups. I think that's the emotions are at their peak, right? The 7 of Cups, the 7 cups here. It could be causing, you know, when you get emotional about something, it causes you to not see things clearly, okay? There's confusion. With the 9 of Wands, there's a feeling of hanging on to something, okay? Hanging on to something with the 5 of Swords, because you're almost determined to win. It's like it's a heavy situation, but you kind of want to win, okay? And maybe it's because you care, again, what other people think, or there's something about the situation that is seen as, like it's seen to be in a good way, okay? But But it also feels heavy with that Nine of Wands. Okay. Let's see. Maybe it's something you've always wanted, Libra. Okay, it could be a dream job. But it's actually kind of heavy, or something like this. I don't know. It's strange energy around something that should be like something you desire. Let's look at the Nine of Wands for Libra. Five of Swords. Yeah, you're conflicted again. Ten of Shields. Okay, so there's something that you may be wanting to let go of, okay, and you're conflicted, you're hanging in there for dear life. You're not sure if you want to let this go. And it's causing all this confusion. Okay, now let's look at the Five of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Six of Shields. It feels like you're staying in a situation, Libra, because you would have to go back to something else. Yeah, with the Knight of Love, going towards something else. But with this Four of Swords, it feels like there's some recovery to be done there. With the Six of Shields, it feels like being allowed back in, So it's like you have to go back to somebody or something and fix that in order to be let back in. And that's got you in two minds, okay? And for some of you, this could be because your ego is standing in the way. Let's look at the Six of Wands. Like maybe you've got too big an ego to go back and apologize. Let's look at the Six of Wands. And if it's not you, it's someone else, okay? Yeah, there's regret here with the Esclamant de Foix and the Ace of Swords. I think you know what you want. That's the dream. Okay, let's see. Let's clarify some more. For some of you, I'm getting an energy of maybe you've turned your back on someone. Okay, maybe you've gotten into another relationship or another job or something. You left something behind that you wish to return to. You're conflicted though. You're conflicted about exiting the thing that you left this person for or left this job for because your ego is standing in the way. Okay, like you don't have to eat humble pie. You don't have to go back and admit that you are wrong here. Something like that. Let's look at the Five of Swords. Yeah, the Tower. You're conflicted. Let's look at the Ten of Shields. The Star. That's what I'm getting. The Star, and we've got the Five of Pentacles. I think you feel like your hands are tied here, Libra. You can see in this Ten of Shields, these two people, the hands are tied. It feels like you feel like your hands are tied because maybe this is something you wanted, It's not turned out to be exactly as you thought it was, okay? With that Seven of Cups, you didn't see the reality of this thing that you thought you wanted. So if it's a job, a person, whatever, it looked shiny, it looked great, you thought you wanted it, you went for it. Now you feel like you're stuck there. And you're conflicted about leaving it and moving back to whatever you had before, okay? Let's look at the Four of Swords. Five of Swords, yeah, you're conflicted. I think for some of you, it's about going back to something or someone and having to admit that you were wrong. And it's feels like a big ask. Let's look at Esclamant de Foix. And the Four of Swords and the Ace of Wands. They had to come back and heal this. And I think for many of you, you got an ego, okay? And so you're holding back from doing this. But you see how the Grim Reaper's creeping up. I think you're not going to be able to hold back very long, okay? Because this situation with the Nine of Wands, it is pretty heavy. You're going to have to exit it soon enough, okay? And I think once you do that, you will have to come back and talk to this person. Let's look at the Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Empress. Here you are with the Ace of Cups. So this could be somebody who's coming towards you, or this could be you feeling that way, okay? Someone who cares about you, Libra, but may have left you to go somewhere else and now finding that situation very heavy and not sure how to backtrack towards you, okay? Let's look at the stars. Knight of Wands. Yeah, somebody rushed towards something that they thought was a star, you know. But with the moon, they didn't see it clearly. With the Seven of Cups, it feels like an illusion. They went for something they thought was going to be great, and it's not. And it's basically they don't know how to go back. Okay, they don't know how to go back. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Well, if that's you, whose ego is standing in the way, I think the sooner you swallow your pride, the better, right? But for many of you, it could be reversed. Could be somebody else who doesn't know how to approach you now. Okay, and so that was Libra. Let's move on to Scorpio. What is the full moon in Aries message for Scorpio? What's the message here for Scorpio? Full moon in Aries message for Scorpio. We've got the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. And oh my gosh, we've got the Queen reversed. Love and prosperity. Okay. So it feels like there's something you don't see clearly when it comes to love, Scorpio. Okay. Imagination is clouding your judgment. Okay, let's see. What is this about? What's the message here for Scorpio? Full moon in Aries. Message for Scorpio. Seven of Cups. Yeah, there's a Chimera. What's the message for Scorpio? Justice. And the Eight of Coins with the Nine of Cups. Something you desire greatly. You don't see this clearly, okay? You don't see this clearly. There's confusion around this, some sort of illusion. You don't even see what you desire, here with the Nine of Cups. You don't see that clearly. Some of you could be looking to marry somebody or have some sort of legal tie, okay? And you're focused on this. You don't see this person clearly. With the Queen reversed, there's no love and prosperity there. Okay, that might be for some of you. Let's see. It could be a job as well, of course. Message for Scorpio. Full moon in Aries. Message for Scorpio. Why is the Seven of Cups there for Scorpio? What is this? Five of Wisdom, Seven of Wisdom. With the Seven of Love, yeah. You're confused about this, Scorpio. Some of you may be wondering if you should leave someone else behind. What is this thing hanging away? Okay, wondering if you should leave someone behind or if you should move towards somebody, because I'm getting a feeling that you want to go towards someone. Let's look at Justice, Nine of Wisdom, and the World of Light, the Sun. Yeah, it's like you're happy, you're single, but you are thinking of getting married, okay? With that Six of Love, there's like a pining for someone maybe from your past, okay? Maybe from your childhood. You may be wondering whether you can, it's like you want to go back and commit to this person, okay? Let's look at the Eight of Coins, the Fool, and Strength. Yeah, and some of you are very determined to do this. You want to go off on this journey, okay? Now, you may or may not already be partnered up, okay? For some of you, you are. For others, you're just... No, I think you're single, okay? Because with the Nine of Wisdom, you are single. But you're wondering, you're confused here. Or there's something you don't see clearly. It's like a fantasy, okay? Okay, let's see. Let's look at that 5 of wisdom. Why is that there for Scorpio? Page of Cups. And the World. Yeah, for some of you, this is about turning your back on feeling lonely, right? You want a new chapter, and so some of you are thinking of proposing. That's what I'm getting. Let's look at the 7 of wisdom. The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're thinking of making this offer. The Hierophant, definitely. Okay, so I think it's someone who's single who wants to commit. Let's look at the 9 of wisdom. Yeah, 2 of swords. You're not sure. You're not entirely clear though, which is why the confusion is there. Okay, not sure about this choice. Let's look at the world of light. The 4 of cups. The 9 of swords, the 4 of pentacles. I think with the, clarifying the sun, it feels like you may be worried that you're going to miss the boat here, okay? And so you want to commit quickly, okay? You're worried you'll miss the boat. Okay. But some of you are also not sure with that 2 of swords. If you're not sure or you're confused, that's not the time to make these kind of decisions, okay? Because I feel like you're not seeing things clearly. Let's look at the Bonhomme. Yeah, strength. There's a need to hold back from this, okay? Let's look at Convenanza. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, you could be rushing into something, okay? Where's Convenanza there? For Scorpio. Where's Convenanza there for Scorpio? See, rushing to bring about some kind of change. But again, you're confused. You're not sure about your feelings, Scorpio, okay? You're not sure what you want, and so you're going to act on that confusion, okay? Because you think that it's probably good for you. And some of you are worried about missing the bus. Like you feel like if you don't take this proposal, you'll be lonely, you'll be alone, okay? So even though you're not sure about this person, you want to go for it. Yeah, just be very careful, because with that Queen reversed, it feels like you're not going to find love and prosperity here, okay? That's what I'm getting. You're not going to find it. Let's look at the Chimera again. Yeah, Magician with the Ace of Pentacles. You think you're manifesting something solid, but I don't think it is, okay? This person, it may not work out the way you think. Don't make any proposals when you're not absolutely sure, okay? Because I think you don't see this person clearly. Like with this 2 of swords, it tells me you're not sure. If you have even the slightest doubt about whether you should be single, I think you better stay single, okay? So that's what I've got for you, Scorpio. That's for some of you who are contemplating marriage or committing to something, right? But you're not sure if you want to do it. If you're not sure, don't do it, right? Okay, so that's Scorpio. Let's move on to who's next, Sag. What is the message? Full moon in Aries. What's the message here for Sagittarius? What's the message for Sagittarius? Full moon in Aries. Message for Sag. The Knight, triumph over adversity. And we've got the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. Okay. And then underneath that, we've got the Talisman, you're destined to succeed. So there may be some confusion about a course of action, okay? But it tells me that you probably will succeed. Let's see. Okay, Sag, what's the message here for Sagittarius? Full moon in Aries, message for Sagittarius. What is the message here for Sagittarius? Queen of Wands, there you are. Ooh, what is this? 7 of Coins reversed. What's the message here for Sagittarius? And the Star. Or the 6 of Swords. Okay. wanting to move towards you, okay? If you're the Queen of Wands, I mean, you are the Queen of Wands here. With the Seven of Coins reversed, they may not have bothered with the situation. They may not have thought you were worth their while, okay? With the Star, though, I feel like this person has held you in high regard. With the Queen of Wands and the Star, I think you're seen in a pretty, this person has you on a pedestal with the Star and the Queen of Wands, and I think that may have freaked them out. Like, they may have thought that this isn't even like an option for them, okay? So there's no point giving you anything because this, there's no way you're going to choose them, something like that. Okay, maybe this is the person who's approaching you. I think this is the person who's coming towards you, okay? They could be confused about this because they have a lot of insecurities and fears, but the thing is, if they approach you, they will succeed. And of course, it could always be reversed. But I don't think this Queen of Wands Star is the one who's chasing after this person. I think this person is coming towards you. Okay, so let's see. What is the message here for Sagittarius? What is the message for Sagittarius? Why is the Queen of Wands there for Sag? The Grail Knight. And the Empress. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think this person is coming back. Okay. The Grail Knight. This person is coming to offer you their cup. With the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the Empress, the Star. This person is really got you on some kind of pedestal. Like, you're the one. Okay. You're head and shoulders over everybody else that this person knows or has ever dated, and don't think they thought they had a chance here, okay? But something now has given them hope because with the Star, they're coming back. Let's look at the Seven of Coins reversed. Why is the Seven of Coins reversed? What is this? Four of Wisdom, Lady of Love. Yeah, they didn't give you much, okay? There was a lot of withholding, and you were open to this person, but they didn't give you anything, okay? And I think with the Seven of Coins reversed, it's because they thought that, like, this isn't even an option, okay? Yeah. Let's look at the Star. Why is that there for Sag? The Wheel of Life and the Tower. This person has had some kind of fated wake-up call, okay? And it's given them hope now. It's like they went off course, and this Tower is like setting them back on course to come towards you, okay? Okay. Yeah, with the Six of Shields, this person wants you to let them back in, okay? Now, let's see. What is this all about, though? Let's look at the Grail Knight. Why is the Grail Knight there? For Sagittarius, why is the Grail Knight here for Sag? Yeah, the Hermit, the King of Cups. This person is in love with you, okay? They're very focused on you. Yeah, they want to come towards you. Let's look at Esclamon de Foi. Five of Wands. For some of you, they may have thought that there were other people interested, that they would have to compete over you, okay? And I don't know. Let's look at the Esclamon de Foi again. Four of Swords. It's possible you've had a falling out with this person, okay, because they did move on from you. But otherwise, they could also just have thought that you'd have, that there'd be a lot of competition because this person has you on a pedestal. Let's look at the Four of Wisdom. Yeah, the Eight of Swords, They had to get over their fears. This person has a lot of insecurities that kept them trapped. And with the Four of Pentacles, I think they felt this wasn't even an option, and so they were quite cold. Let's look at the Lady of Love. Yeah, Ten of Wands. You know, it seemed too much. Like this person felt that this was going to be too much, like beyond them, you know, to come towards you. It's too much. You're totally out of their league. Something like this. Okay. Now let's look at the Wheel of Life. Three of Wands. And one more. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. There's a fated communication. This person coming towards you is fated. Okay. Like I said, it's like the universe. This person went off course. They went off course because of this. Maybe it's this chimera energy, right? It could be their imagined fears or the imagination that there's other people around, something like that. It took this person off course, and now the universe is like setting them back on course. Okay, let's look at Monster here. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles and Strength. This person was holding on to family. Okay, they were quite rigidly holding on to something as well that was long term, and it could be a job or it could be family or whatever, but that's kind of been cleared out of the way. Okay, so that they can now come towards you. Okay, it's like it's kind of like, what have I got to lose, right? They've lost something already. They've had some sort of blow. Okay, and now that's freeing them up to take this leap of faith. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's get a card on that chimera. Why is the chimera there? Yeah, Four of Pentacles. You know, there's an end to them holding back because of this chimera. Okay, and there's some harsh truth that they may have said because I think this person was quite cold and maybe rude. You know, and it's because they had their own insecurities about you. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. But they're coming towards you with the Six of Swords, trying to make peace. You know, we've got strength beneath that, so it's going to take courage for this person. But they're determined to succeed with this Knight, triumph over adversity. Yeah, I think they will succeed. You know, because we've got the Star here, which is an energy of healing. It is fated that this person head back your way, if nothing else, just to make peace. Okay, but I think that the fact that they're being moved back towards you, I think, means that this could really work out. Okay, this person just seems to have been intimidated, and it's like fate is setting them back on course. Okay, maybe they're older and wiser, I don't know. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Sag. And let's move on now to Capricorn. Capricorn. What is the energy of the full moon in Aries? What's the message of the full moon in Aries for Capricorn? Full moon in Aries, message for Capricorn. What's the message here for Capricorn? What is the message for Capricorn? Got two. Okay, the Serpent and the Unicorn. Okay, with the stars. So the Serpent says a sly and subtle approach is needed. Good fortune and friendship. I feel like this is you, Capricorn. Okay, you represent this good fortune and friendship, and someone is trying to approach you, but they're trying to be a bit clever about it. Okay, it's like yeah, they're trying to be clever. They're trying to play the long game here with the stars. They are in love. We do have the Ace of Chalice, the chalice beneath it, you know. So they are in love. They are trying to approach you, but they're also trying to be kind of playing the long game, because I think with the Unicorn, they see you as someone very special here. And I think with good fortune and friendship, they may try to be your friend. Okay, they might try to befriend you. Okay, so let's see. Because it almost feels like the snake is behind the unicorn. You know, it's like they're slithering up there. What's the message here? Full moon in Aries, message for Capricorn. What is the message here for Capricorn? Full moon in Aries, message for Capricorn. Six of Coins, Queen of Swords. And the Ace of Wands with the Page of Wands. So yeah, someone wants to initiate some kind of outreach. With the Six of Coins, it does feel like it is mutual feelings, okay? With this Queen of Swords, there's a discernment here. Someone sees the truth about you. And they're very fired up to come towards you. And I think it's like they see you as this unicorn energy. Someone very rare, special. I feel like this person doesn't encounter a lot of people like you, okay? The unicorn, the stars, it feels like as if they've hit the jackpot, okay? Something like this. Almost like a jackpot energy. And so it's like they don't want to scare you off, right? Like they want to approach you very quietly. Okay, let's see. Capricorn. What is the message here for Cap? What's the message for Capricorn? Full moon in Aries. Why is the Six of Coins there for Capricorn? Nine of Swords and the Ondura. With the Ace of Wisdom. So this person wants an opportunity with you, okay? With the Ondura, they've had a chance to see things differently here. See their worries differently. Anything about the situation, any doubts that they had, okay? Let's look at the Queen of Swords. Ten of Love. And the Last Judgment. Yeah, there's a recognition that they could have a happy life with you, you know. There's recognition that you could be the end game, like you're the end game, okay? They can have it all, you know, happiness. Whatever this person was worried about, they're releasing that. They now see that they could be happy with you. Let's look at this Ace of Wands. Where's the Ace of Wands there for Capricorn? Lord of Shields. And the Eight of Wisdom. Yeah, this person's very focused on, you know, I feel that's that energy of sly and subtle with the Eight of Wisdom. Focused on this, okay, wanting to take action. Yeah, that's the truth with the Ace of Swords. So we've got someone here, could be a fire sign, may not be, who wants to approach you, sees you as, like, you know, they just see amazing happiness with you, okay? But they also feel that because the stakes are so high, like they see this happy future with you, they've got to be careful in the way they approach you, okay? It's almost like scaring off a unicorn, right? Like they don't want to be... This person's putting a lot of thought into how to get with you, okay? Let's look at that Nine of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this person may have, you know, they have been kind of protective, okay? Maybe they've been hurt before, okay? But they've been in a very protective stance. They've had worries maybe about coupling up. Maybe this is someone who's been single for a while, right? That's coming to an end here. Let's look at the Ondura. Yeah, Eight of Swords. They're getting over their fears about reciprocating, about how they feel towards you. Now, let's look at the Last Judgment. The Hermit. Yeah, this person's a loner. Let's look at the Last Judgment. And the Eight of Cups. There's recognition here that they need to leave the baggage of the past behind, okay? And they can have it all with you. Excuse me. Yeah, let's look at the Lord of Shields. Yeah, Death. And the Page of Wands. This person wants to spark some kind of change, some kind of transformation in their life. Okay, and they have to, where they were worried about doing this, they now are ready. They're prepared. Okay. They're prepared. Let me just look at that Hermit energy. Where's the Hermit there? Six of Cups. This may be someone you've known for a while, okay? From your past even. They're very focused on you. It may even be someone who left you behind in the past because they had all these fears, right? But in time, it's like they've come to realize that you are the real deal here, okay? They could have happiness with you. There's a recognition that they may have walked away from something that they could have been very happy with, right? Like a great situation. And so this person is trying to come back towards you. And in doing so, they know that, especially if it's someone you've already known and who's moved on from you, then they know that they're going to have to be careful, okay? They're going to try and extend a hand of friendship here. Let's look at this slide. Why is a serpent there for Capricorn? King of Swords. Yeah, this person may have, been a bit ruthless with you in the past, okay? And so they're going to try and, there's regret for that. If this person cut you out of their life in the past, there's regret. They're going to try and come back as a friend. Okay, let's look at the unicorn. Yeah, the star. You're the star. You're the unicorn. Okay. With the Seven of Swords, this person is going to try and sneak their way back in. Under cover of friendship. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Under cover of friendship. So this Page of Wands, it might be someone you haven't heard from for a while. But with the Wheel of Fortune, believe that it's fated that they come towards you. They're going to have some kind of outreach. They're going to try to be your friend, and then it's up to you. You don't have to go for this. It's entirely up to you. Okay. So that's what I've got for you, Capricorn. Don't be surprised if this person that you haven't heard from for a while pops up all of a sudden, being very friendly. Okay. So that's you, and let's move on to Aquarius. I think we got Aquarius, Pisces, and then we're done. Okay, what's a full moon in Aries message for Aquarius? What's the message here for Aquarius? Ooh, what is this? The Satyr, revelry and indulgence. And we've got the key. Locked doors can now be opened. Okay. Ooh, okay. What is this about? Oh yeah, I've got jealousy beneath that. So, I'm getting an air of somebody who, this is the Devil card in this deck, and it feels like someone who is finding someone maybe very attractive, very sexy. They want to go towards this person. In the past, I think with jealousy there, either they could have been jealous or other people could have been jealous, and this may not have been an option, okay? But now it feels like they feel like they can do this. What is the message here for Aquarius? Full moon in Aries. What's the message for Aquarius? Three of Wands. Temperance. And the Two of Cups. Wow. The Queen of Coins. Okay. So there's an expectation here that they can have what they want with Temperance. But what they want is love. Okay. That's interesting because the Satyr... It's possible now for some of you that the Satyr energy may have been the block. Okay. I think we'll know as we go along. Let's see. Because it sounds like this person wants true love, harmony, and some sort of commitment as well, okay? With that Queen of Coins. Okay, why is the Three of Wands there for Aquarius? Seven of Wisdom. Eight of Wisdom. Gosh, okay. So there is some strategy involved in this. Okay, this in terms of an expectation. Okay. Someone wants to partner up with you, Aquarius. Let's look at Temperance. Convenanza and the Seven of Swords. There's some kind of deception here though around this partnership idea, okay? It may be someone coming to commit to you or proposing marriage. Something like that. Okay, let's look at the Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. Three of Shields and the World of Shadows, which is the Moon. So there's some deception around this, okay? There's some deception here. Okay, you might have to be very decisive here. Let's have a look at the Seven of Wisdom. Ten of Pentacles. Gosh, somebody really wants to be financially stable here, Aquarius. Okay, you need to be very careful here. Let's look at the Eight of Wisdom. Yeah, there's an expectation here of financial security if they get with you. That could be the satyr energy, revelry. You know, someone who sees a chance to be financially stable if they marry you, and like they can indulge, okay? And with this locked door, they could feel that maybe you were out of reach before and now you're available, okay? Something like this. Okay, because we do have the Queen of Coins. Now this person wants to partner up with you, but it's possible that for some of you, you were already partnered before. Maybe that's over and they see an opening to come in, okay? So just be a bit careful here. Let's look at Convenanza, King of Cups and Strength. This person is determined to come towards you, to pour out their feelings. Let's look at that Seven of Swords. The King of Wands. And the Five of Wands. You know, even if this person has feelings for you, I think, I don't know. I mean, and if you're the King of Cups here, then it's asking you to hold back, I think, okay, because, I don't know, there's some deception here. Let's look at this World of Shadows. Yeah, the Hierophant, there's some deception. The Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Magician. They're doing something behind the scenes here. This person has ulterior motives, okay? They're trying to manifest something that is not clear to you. And what they want is a commitment, okay? This person has financial worries that are weighing on them, and they think that a commitment with you would ease that, okay? So just be very careful. I feel like this person, even if they have feelings towards you, I feel they're coming towards you with the idea that you can relieve their financial pressures, okay, something like that. Let's look at that Satyr. The Lovers, yeah, there's some nice Satyr there. Ooh, with the Ten of Swords, gosh, eeks. Yeah, I think be careful here, Aquarius, okay? This could be... There's something very... I don't know, this person it's not a good energy, okay? They're coming towards you. They've got hidden agendas. I think the agenda is mainly financial, okay? They want to get with you because they see that getting with you, marrying you would solve all their problems here, okay? They're going to come towards you telling you they love you because they know that you won't let them back any other way. So this could even be an ex who has betrayed you in the past, okay? But if not, they're likely to do that with the Lovers and the Ten of Swords. Okay, let's look at that key. Yeah, the Tower. There's something has happened in your life, Aquarius, to give this person an opening, okay? Some kind of event has happened. So for some of you, it may be that you were in a partnership. Like this person may be an ex from way back or someone or whatever, right? And you may have been in another commitment, another relationship, whatever. That could have ended suddenly. And so this person now feels they can come back towards you, okay? So be really careful here because they are very manipulative. And if you're this King of Cups energy, like if you always had feelings with this person, then please hold back. Let me look at that. Let me look at strength. Yeah, Knight of Swords. And the Three of Cups. See, a harsh truth about third parties, indulgences, okay? Yeah, I would advise you to be very cautious here because things are not as they seem, okay? This person is prone to all sorts of indulgences and is just looking for a way back into your life. Yeah, exercise wisdom and prudence here. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Aquarius. And let's move on to Pisces. And I think that's the last sign. Ooh, and my throat is super dry. Okay. Pisces. What is the full moon in Aries bringing up for Pisces? What's the full moon in Aries bringing up for Pisces? The full moon in Aries bringing up for Pisces. What's the full moon in Aries bringing up for Pisces? The Sun, okay, and the Minstrel. Let your intentions be known. And the Sun, your perseverance is rewarded, okay. So something you've been working on, Pisces, may come to pass, okay. Let's see. What is the message here for Pisces? What is the message for Pisces here? Full moon in Aries, message for Pisces. Empress. Ooh, Eight of Coins. What is this? The World. With the Eight of Wands. Okay. So someone's moving on. Okay. This Empress energy, it may be you, I'm not sure. Okay. But there's an opportunity here. And I feel someone has been focused on moving towards this. Okay. But with the World, it's like, I don't know if they want to close that out. Let's see. Okay. What's the message here for Pisces? Full moon in Aries, message for Pisces. Where's the Empress there for Pisces? The Squire of Love, the Six of Shields. Yeah, it comes to a profession of love, right? So some kind of Empress opportunity, which you thought maybe you were moving towards very quickly. You know, maybe someone was professing their love. You could have let them in. You could have thought that this was going to lead to something. Okay, let's look at the Eight of Coins. Five of Wisdom and the Three of Swords. So this has been going on for a while, but with the Five of Wisdom and the Three of Swords, there's pain here because it feels like now this is ending with the World. Okay. Where's the World there? The Nine of Wisdom and the Five of Swords. Someone's conflicted. Okay. Maybe conflicted about going for this. And I'm getting that if it has to do with a job or something, then it's possible for some of you that you're focused here on all the things, you know, your insecurities, you know, are you up to this? Things like that. Anything else that could get in the way and disappoint you, okay? And you could be conflicted about going for this situation, like maybe you wouldn't be supported. But I think with the Sun here, with the perseverance, you will succeed if you go towards this. Okay, I'm getting that. If you let your intentions be known. Now in the realm of a relationship, also some of you could be focused on being left out. Okay, maybe for some this is a third party, it's possible. With the World here, Someone's not sure if they want to be single. Let's see. What's this minstrel about? Knight of Pentacles. Some kind of offer. Let's look at the Sun. Strength. Yeah, it's about determination, hanging in there, being persevering. So let's look at this Squire of Love. There's a Squire of Love there. Two of Cups. Yeah, someone told you they loved you. Let's look at the Six of Shields with the Five of Wands. You may have had a conflict, okay, with this person for, you may have been on the outs. It feels like they're coming back now. They're coming back. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Four of Cups. They may not have been interested in this in the past. Right? And some of you could be focused on this, okay? Yeah, with the High Priestess. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles again. Yeah, so for some of you, they were not interested in a family life. They could have wanted to stay single. Let's look at that Three of Swords again. Yeah, thinking only of themselves maybe. Okay, with this Nine of Cups being a little selfish. Let's look at this Nine of Wisdom. Seven of Cups. This person is wondering if there's something else out there. And let's look at this Two of Swords. Oh, let's look at the Five of Swords. Six of Cups, Death, and the Hermit. Yeah, there's confusion about this. Let's get me one more on the Nine of Wisdom. Oh, the Seven of Swords. There's self-deception, there's confusion. Someone's conflicted. They're focused on this. Okay, do they put an end to something that they've been in for a while, right? Okay. Slightly confusing. Let's look at this Six of Shields again. King of Swords. Some of you, for some of you, this could be a third party, okay? And someone is staying with their partner. They're very focused on that. They're not interested in freeing themselves, okay? They're wondering, they're conflicted about putting an end to that chapter of their lives, okay? Okay, and they may be letting you know this, but I don't know, with the Sun here, why is that Sun there if this is a third party? Why is the Sun there? The Emperor. Six of Swords. So I'm getting that for some of you, if you're a third party person, this Emperor will move on in time, even if they're not ready to move on now. Some of you who are interested in hanging on there as the third party, this person might move on, okay? Could be a while though. Yeah, it feels like right now they're not ready to do this. And it can kind of go either way. So it could even be that if you're the spouse and this person moved on and you hang on, this person may come back, okay? It's up to you at that point if you want to hang on for this person. But for those that do, I feel like you'll get what you want, okay? You'll get what you want here. Yeah, that's what I've got for you, Pisces. Okay. So I think that concludes everyone because we started with Aries. Okay. Maybe I'll just do a very quick 3-card spread for everybody, right? Like, what's the energy of the full moon that we all need to be aware of? This full moon in Aries. Full moon in Aries. What is the energy that the collective needs to be aware of? The Emperor, there's the Aries energy. The Sun, the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Coins, yeah. I think it's about taking control, okay? With the Queen of Coins, it's about what you want to work on, you know, partnerships, what makes you happy, and closing out things that don't, okay? Closing out things that don't, okay? Let's see. Which might seem self-evident, but then I guess a lot of us just don't do that, right? Let's look at the Emperor. The Love Feast. Yeah, it's about choosing to take control of things that don't make you happy, right? Many of us just go with the flow and it's stay in situations that are past its expiry date, right? We just sort of stay there, and it's about making an active choice to take control here. Let's look at the Sun. Yeah, ascension. Moving towards your happiness, you know, seeing things from a higher perspective. Seeing with the demiurge here what is keeping false beliefs, things that are keeping you trapped, right? That's like the devil. And moving on from that, okay? And let's look at the Ten of Wands. Ooh, what is this? Eight of Love. Yeah, it's walking away from things that are very heavy. With the Nine of Swords, we're always worried if we'll come under attack if we leave certain responsibilities behind. And it takes courage to do that. But I think that's what the energy of the full moon is. It's about closing out cycles that are, you know, that situations that basically have run its course, right? And it's about recognizing that and having the courage to move on, okay? So that's what I have for all of you. Do tell me in the comments if any of it resonates. I'd love to hear from you. I will timestamp all of this. And yeah, do enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you next time.